Have you ever heard of a bear that is as white as snow but isn't a polar bear? Imagine walking through a deep, green rainforest. The air is damp and everything is quiet. Suddenly, you see something moving through the trees. It's a large animal with a creamy white coat. It's not a polar bear and it's not an albino. You have just seen a spirit bear, also known as a ghost bear. This animal is one of the rarest and most beautiful bears in the entire world. It is a creature of legend, a true mystery of the wild that captures the imagination of everyone lucky enough to learn about it. Most people are familiar with black bears and grizzly bears. We see them in documentaries and hear about them in stories. But the ghost bear, or Kermode bear, is a special kind of black bear. That might sound confusing, but it's true. The ghost bear is a subspecies of the American black bear. It lives in a very specific part of the world, hidden away from most people. Seeing one is an incredibly rare experience, like finding a hidden treasure in nature. This bear is a symbol of the wild, untouched places that still exist on our planet, reminding us of the wonders that are out there waiting to be discovered. The name ghost bear is a perfect fit for this elusive animal. It moves silently through the dense, misty forests of its home. Its pale fur helps it blend in with the morning fog, making it look like a spirit gliding through the trees. For the native First Nations people of this region, the bear is sacred. They have lived alongside these animals for thousands of years and have many stories and legends about them. They believe the spirit bear holds a special power and represents peace and harmony. They have protected these bears for generations, understanding their deep importance to the land and their culture. So, let's get ready for an adventure. We're going to journey into the heart of the Great Bear Rainforest. We will explore where these incredible bears live and what makes them so unique. It's a story about genetics, nature, and the delicate balance of an ecosystem. This is not just any bear, it's a living legend. By understanding the ghost bear, we can learn more about the amazing biodiversity of our planet, and why it is so important to protect these special creatures and their homes. The wild is calling and the spirit bear has a story to tell us. The ghost bear lives in a place that sounds like it came from a fairy tale. It is called the Great Bear Rainforest. This amazing forest is located on the coast of British Columbia, Canada. It is a temperate rainforest, which means it gets a lot of rain and has mild temperatures. The forest is huge, covering a massive area of wild, rugged coastline. It is a world of giant, ancient trees like cedar and spruce, which can be hundreds of years old. The ground is covered in a thick carpet of green moss, and rivers full of salmon rush toward the sea. This is the perfect, isolated home for such a rare animal. This rainforest is not just a bunch of trees, it is a complex and vibrant ecosystem. It stretches for hundreds of kilometers along the Pacific coast, including a network of islands and deep fjords. The islands are remote and difficult to reach, which helps protect the bears from human disturbance. This isolation is key to the survival of the ghost bear. The forest provides everything the bears need to live. There are berries to eat in the summer, plants to munch on in the spring, and most importantly, rivers packed with fish. It's a rich natural paradise where the ghost bear can thrive away from the pressures of the modern world. The Great Bear Rainforest is one of the largest remaining tracts of unspoiled temperate rainforest in the world. Imagine a place where ancient trees tower over you, their branches draped in moss, waterfalls cascade down mountainsides, and the air is fresh and clean. This is the kingdom of the ghost bear. The native Gitga'at and Kitasoo Zai-Sais peoples have called this place home for millennia, and they are the guardians of this sacred land. Their traditional knowledge is essential for conservation efforts, ensuring that the forest and its spirit bears are protected for future generations to cherish and respect. Finding a ghost bear here is a true challenge, even for experienced wildlife trackers. The bears are spread out over this vast and wild territory. They do not live in large groups. Instead, they are solitary animals, preferring to wander the forest alone. Their white fur makes them stand out against the green forest, but they are masters of staying hidden. They use the dense undergrowth and the misty weather to their advantage, moving silently and avoiding contact. This elusive nature is part of what makes the ghost bear so fascinating, and a true symbol of the untamed wilderness of Canada's west coast. Why is the ghost bear white? It's a fantastic question, and the answer is all in its genes. The ghost bear is not an albino. Albino animals lack all pigment and usually have pink eyes. The ghost bear, however, has a black nose and dark eyes, just like a regular black bear. Its white fur is caused by a special recessive gene. For a cub to be born with a white coat, both of its parents must carry this specific gene. The parents themselves can be black, but if they both pass the recessive gene to their cub, the result is a beautiful, creamy white spirit bear. This genetic trait is incredibly rare. Only a small percentage of the black bear population in this specific region carries the gene. Think of it like having blue eyes in humans. It's less common than brown eyes. Scientists estimate that only about 10 to 20% of the bears in the Great Bear Rainforest are ghost bears. This means that for every 10 black bears, you might only find 1 or 2 with the white coat. This rarity is what makes them so special and is a key reason why their remote island habitat is so important for their continued survival. Interestingly, scientists have discovered that the white coat gives the ghost bear a surprising advantage. You might think a white bear would have a hard time hunting in a green forest, but the opposite is true when it comes to fishing. Studies have shown that ghost bears are actually more successful at catching salmon than their black-coated counterparts during the day. The reason is that, from a fish's perspective, the white shape of the bear against the bright overcast sky is less noticeable. It doesn't create a dark, scary silhouette, so the salmon are less likely to be spooked and swim away. This unique fishing advantage highlights how wonderfully nature adapts. The ghost bear's white fur is not a disadvantage, it's a specialized tool for survival in its specific environment. This makes the ghost bear a perfect example of natural selection at work. The gene for the white coat has persisted for thousands of years because it provides a real benefit. It shows how even a small genetic difference can play a huge role in the life of an animal, making the ghost bear not just a beautiful creature, but also a fascinating case study in evolution and adaptation in the wild. The life of a ghost bear is closely tied to the seasons of the Great Bear Rainforest. In the spring, when the snow melts, the bears emerge from their winter dens. They are very hungry after a long sleep. Their first meals consist of fresh green plants, sedges and berries that are just beginning to grow. This is a time of renewal, as the entire forest comes back to life. The bears spend these months regaining their strength and exploring their territory, preparing for the most important time of the year, the salmon run. Their diet is varied, showing how resourceful they are in finding food. When late summer and autumn arrive, the forest's rivers transform. Millions of salmon return from the ocean to spawn in the same rivers where they were born. This is a feast for the ghost bears. They gather along the riverbanks to catch these nutrient-rich fish. This is the most critical time for them to build up fat reserves for the long winter ahead. Watching a ghost bear fish is an incredible sight. They patiently stand in the shallow water waiting for the perfect moment to pounce and snatch a salmon with their paws or jaws. Their survival completely depends on this annual salmon feast. After feasting on salmon, the ghost bears prepare for winter. They need to find a safe, dry den to hibernate. Often they will choose a hollowed-out base of a giant ancient cedar tree. These massive trees provide the perfect shelter from the cold and snow of the Canadian winter. Inside the den, the bear's heart rate slows down and its body temperature drops. It will not eat or drink for months, surviving only on the fat it stored from eating salmon. Pregnant females will also give birth to their tiny cubs inside the den during the winter. The ghost bear is an important part of its ecosystem. As a top predator, it helps maintain the balance of nature. When the bears catch salmon, they often carry the fish into the forest to eat. The leftover carcasses provide a rich source of nutrients for the forest floor. These nutrients, especially nitrogen from the ocean, act as a fertilizer for the giant trees and plants. In this way, the bears help to feed the very forest that gives them shelter. It's a beautiful cycle that connects the ocean, the rivers, the bears, and the trees in a perfect web of life.